Do we all fit in the picture?
Yes, you will. You can feel free to wait if you'd like to. Yeah, you should all fit in the picture. Yeah, that's good. Hey, hello guys. So the topic of my speech is the significance of communication in early childhood. I'm going to begin. So, each of us here had a childhood filled with experiences that formed who we are today. I'm here to pinpoint for you exactly what age experiences are most impactful for children. As someone who is an early childhood major and has worked with children 6 weeks through 8 years old consistently for 3 years, I can tell you a lot about how significant early childhood is in an individual's life. As the next generation that is going to have kids, it is important that we know what experiences will affect our children most and when they will affect them most. According to Dr. Jack Shonkoff, the director of Harvard University's Center on the Developing Child, 90% of children's brains are formed by the age of 6. Today I would like to explain this concept more in depth through the nature versus nurture debate, early versus later debate, and the specific kinds of communication needed in the specific stages of development. I will also be incorporating the attachment theory and the social penetration theory. So the first aspect of the significance of early childhood that we will be covering is the nature versus nurture debate. This debate discusses whether human behaviors and personalities are caused primarily by genes and hereditary factors or environmental variables. So specifically, we will be diving into the environmental variables in a young child's life. When responding to children with calmness, it is called co-regulation. So for example, while giving kids expectations to follow, which is regulation, Sarah Mill at the Head Start Early Childhood and Knowledge Center says, you need to identify your own feelings and react calmly when you are stressed. Failing to use co-regulation and teach children self-regulation will result in social, academic, emotional, and behavioral challenges for the child. Children not only need a safe social environment, but a safe physical one as well. According to the Childhood Education International, in 2017, over 1 in 4 children under 5 years old deaths are due to unhealthy living environments. This shows only a small portion of just how important it is to be cautious of living conditions and communication with young children. Next, we will be covering the early versus later debate. This debate focuses on the degree to which early experiences, especially in infancy, or later experiences influence a child's long-term development. So the Center on the Developing Child at Harvard University states that significant early adversity can lead to lifelong problems. For example, when a child has 7 to 8 adverse experiences, their odds of getting heart disease as an adult are 3.5%. And when they have 5 to 6, their odds are 2%, and so on. When children have these diverse experiences, they are more likely to have weakened, developing brain architecture and permanently set the body's stress response system on high alert. Lastly, we will discuss the kinds of communication most important in developmental stages in children. There are 4 stages of development: infancy, which is 3 to 12 months, toddler, which is 1 to 3 years old, preschool, which is 3 to 4 years old, and then school age would be 4 to 6 years old. Adina Dacey did a study in 2011. She states that while communicating with infants, it is important to talk a lot, encourage, read, sing, model, describe, play, and ask. This is also how you should handle communicating with toddlers. And according to the Virtual Lab School, it is important to follow children's leads and cues, bring up events that happen throughout the day, use new and complex words, and much more. This is the kind of communication it is important to use when speaking to preschool-age children and school-age children. The social penetration theory is the theory that kind of ties all into this. It is the theory that relationships develop from shallow to intimate slowly over time. The more you use these kinds of communication that I went over with young children, the stronger and faster your bond will grow with them. When parents and caregivers give too much help in a child's life, it makes them overly dependent on the parent and allows the attachment theory to grow unhealthy. The attachment theory is the theory that all human beings need to form a healthy attachment as a child to an attachment figure, whether that be a parent or a teacher, caregiver, doesn't matter. So, while there is so much more to learn about how children communicate through their young years and how significant it is in their lives, what I've created for you all today is a solid foundation to build on. You now know how to communicate properly with infants through school-age children and have an in-depth understanding of the nature versus nurture debate and the early versus later debate. I hope you found this information useful and will use it as you interact with children from this day forward. Thank you.